Sports are a lot of fun, in part because you never know what can happen. And you never know what could be just around the corner. And sometimes, frankly, some loony, crazy crap goes down. And think about it this way. How much must it suck to be a member of the Buffalo Bills? How bad must it be for a guy to want to retire not at the end of the season, not maybe during the middle of a week during the season, not after a game even, mind you, but at halftime of a game to say, no, I'm good, career over, deuces. How bad does it have to be a part of the Buffalo Bills to do that? Well, that's exactly what Vontae Davis apparently did this last Sunday. This is epic shit. He goes in at halftime and he says, I'm not playing anymore, I'm retired. And he exits stage left. Vontae Davis quit on his team at halftime and he retired. He thought it sucked so bad to be a part of the Buffalo Bills. He didn't even want to get paid anymore. He said, I've had it. And as you can imagine, the response from the Bills locker room was very strong, understandably so. And a lot of media and a lot of fans were quick to jump on Vontae Davis and poon him and crap all over him. Because ultimately he quit on his team halfway through a game. And look, I get it. In an ideal world, the dude shouldn't be deucing out halfway through a game. He committed what you would call the most cardinal of cardinal sins of sports. And that is never give up, never quit. And he quit right in the middle of the game. He said, second half, not good. But let's pump the brakes a little bit on crapping on him too much, okay? And here's why. Number one, how many people out there that are crapping on Vontae Davis for quitting in the middle of a game have walked out and quit on a job themselves in the past, or no-call, no-showed a job in the past? I bet a lot of them at some point in time. Many of us have done it. So it was okay for us to do it, but not okay for him to do it. Why? Because he's an athlete, that makes it such a different special snowflake? No, the fuck it doesn't. The dude didn't want to be there anymore, so he took his bag and he went home. Many football fans, many people in general have done that at some point with the job. I promise you, believe that. Also, when you look at this, maybe we should be looking at some deeper-seated issues, especially when you see Sean McDermott and his decisions with the quarterback position, specifically going to go back to Nate Peterman week 1, looking at how bad the Bills are coming off of a playoff season last year. And maybe you start to have to ask yourself, just how bad is the work environment under Sean McDermott in Buffalo? How bad is he as a coach, as a leader? To make an athlete think about walking away from $800,000, $1 million, whatever the amount is that Vontae Davis was going to make this year, because he was so desperate to get the hell out of there. It's a lot of money, especially for a guy like Vontae Davis at the end of his career, to walk away from. A lot of money. You know, yeah, it's not $10, $15, $20 million or more, but you still talk about $800,000 or whatever the amount was that he's leaving on the table by not playing the rest of the year. That's a lot of money. I mean, that's child support for at least 2 or 3 years for him. I mean, so why would he want to do it? Then you also got to think about it from a team standpoint and the game standpoint. If his heart wasn't into it, if he didn't feel a passion for it, and he didn't want to do it, wouldn't he also be doing himself and his team a disservice by going back out there where he could potentially blow assignments, he could potentially not be playing at his best, it could negatively impact his team? You never know in these type of situations. By him not caring as much, maybe he doesn't play as hard, and it could lead to potentially somebody else getting hurt. Do you really want that guy out there if he's going to half-ass it through the game? I know I wouldn't. As a fan and as a player on that team, I wouldn't want him out there. If he doesn't care, then fuck you, dog. Get somebody else in that does. I mean, really. Yes, it's weird that it happened the way it did. And no, it's not the best way to conduct business. And it's not very becoming of somebody to quit like that. And personally, I don't care how bad it was. To me, that's a lot of money to leave on the table. I'm going to fake it till I make it through the rest of the year and then either retire at the end of the season or find somewhere else where maybe I could be a little happier. But that's just me. But Vontae Davis had the ability, had the leverage that he had created for himself, where if he doesn't want to do it, he doesn't have to do it. How many of us out there in the real world wish we had that flexibility, that capability, that ability to say, I don't want to do this, so I'm just going to go home. I don't need this job. You can take this job and shove it. A lot of people watching this video and a lot of people out there in the world in general feel that way and wish they had that ability that Vontae Davis did. Because on the flip side, how many times does a team cut a player after a game in the middle of a season where the player doesn't have a choice? Oh, but it's okay because they're the employer and they're the team. You know, the team, there's nothing stopping them from benching Vontae Davis at halftime and potentially cutting him at halftime, if you want to be real and honest about it. But I promise you there wouldn't be nearly as much backlash against the Bills if they announced during halftime of the game that they were cutting Vontae Davis's ass. And it's weird and it's fucked up how that works, but that's exactly true. So Vontae Davis did it to them before they could possibly do it to him. And if he didn't want to be there again, then why be there? So I support Vontae Davis's decision. Not the way I would want to conduct business, not how I would choose to conduct business, but it was his right to do so. He had enough leverage and flexibility and ability to make this decision, and he did it. And he should be respected for it, even if you don't respect the actual decision that he did make. But just ask yourself this question. A guy was so desperate to get out of Buffalo, to get away from the Bills, that he was willing to retire. Retire at halftime of Game 2 of the season. What does that tell you?